Hello everyone, today I'm here to review Season 3 of What If, the final season of the Marvel Studios animated series pondering the question, what if, about various different scenarios in the MCU. I'm excited to talk about this one. This will be a non-spoiler review of this final season, so if you've not seen it yet, feel free to check this out, hear my thoughts. Without further ado, let's get into things. A little preface this on my thoughts on Seasons 1 and 2 of What If. You can go back, watch my past video on those, but for a quick summary, I've always said on What If, I think it's a fun show, pretty decently entertaining, but I don't really think it's ever lived up to its potential. It's had a few episodes that have been great, a few scenarios that have been fun, but for the most part, it's just felt more like the MCU experimenting with various genres, like they did like a Blade Runner episode, or the Zombies episode. It's mostly just the MCU experimenting with genres, and every now and then there is an episode that's a cool concept, like, for example, the Strange Supreme episode, Season 1's amazing. The 80s Avengers episode in Season 2, awesome, super fun. And it's mostly just been like the MCU just doing a couple, fun, solid episodes, and every now and then there's an episode that is really, really great. But it never really feels like it's answering the questions that it should be. It feels more just like asking weird questions than asking necessarily cool questions. And Season 3, for the most part, keeps up with that. It feels very shortened, very rushed. It doesn't feel like this was originally intended to be the final season. There's so many concepts in here. I'm like, this is the final season of your show. Instead of going all out, you're doing some weird concepts. And not that I necessarily mind weird concepts, like I've said. And the episodes are still, on their own terms, enjoyable. It's just weird that these are the episodes they picked for the final season. So I'm going to go through the episodes one by one for a little bit. Episode 1 is the Mecha Avengers episode. That one's pretty solid, decently entertaining. It's fun to see a bit more screen time for Anthony Mackie's Captain America, a little bit of good Mark Ruffalo stuff, a couple okay kaiju fights. It never excels at what it's trying to do, but it's also never boring, and it's a decent enough episode. Episode 2, really weird concept, Kingo and Agatha and Howard Stark and the Celestials. It is weird, it is strange, but it's a very kind of cool, out-of-the-box concept. It kind of takes things to a grander scope that I like. It's a little bit too on the nose, but, it's solid, it's fun, it's creative. Episode 3 is Red Guardian and Winter Soldier buddy road trip comedy movie. Weird concept, but it's got some cool, greater MCU implications that are actually kind of neat about the main canon MCU that I think is very cool. And it's also got a fun dynamic between these two leads. You get a little bit more Lawrence Fishburne in there. Solid enough episode, not too bad. Episode 4, the one about Darcy and Howard the Duck. Everyone is hating on this one online. They all say it's crap. I think this one is maybe the best of the season. It is so fun, it is so ridiculous, and just seeing these two comedic relief characters running from all the villains of the MCU is so much fun. It is so engaging. I had a great time with it. It's ridiculous, it's weird, but it's fun. Episode 5 is the one about the Emergence. Definitely the coolest concept of the bunch. I found it a little dull at times, but the rest of the point, it was pretty interesting. Fun, interesting cast of characters. But I will say, this episode and episode 6 did feel like they were meant to release after the Ironheart show had already come out. Episode 6, cool concept. Great to see more of Shang-Chi and Kate Bishop, who we haven't seen since their inceptions, aside from, the Marvels. But it's a fun episode, cool concept. I love the MCU doing a bit of a Western, genre bending, like I said. And, solid enough episode, cool finale that I liked. Episode 7 and 8 are basically the same thing. They're a fun exploration of the Watcher and his responsibilities. A weird cast of characters as our Exile characters that we follow. A lot more Captain Carter, as we already know. And a couple other OCs, and plus Storm for some reason. Not that I'm complaining about Storm. I love Storm. Solid finale, very interesting. Good conclusion to the Watcher's arc. So looking at things overall, the writing for What If I've always found too on the nose, too basic. I've never really liked the dialogue in this show. Season 3 didn't really fix that much. The animation's still okay. It's an interesting style, but I still feel like sometimes it looks cool, sometimes it looks cheap. It never fully works for me. Voice acting is solid, but there's definitely less interesting voice talent. It feels like they got less and less cool voice talent as the seasons of the show has gone on. And they're more back to recycling the same cast members who they know are free. But they got Oscar Isaac this season. Like that a lot. And I like that they used more Phase 4 characters in this season. And just overall, I'm a little frustrated that What If as a show, very fun individual episodes. I like that they're doing wacky concepts. I like them doing weird genres, but it also doesn't feel like they do enough time doing big, cool MCU questions. You know, what if the other half got snapped? Or big lore implicating questions of, oh, what if this major decision never happened? It's never really doing that. It's more doing, what if these two characters went on a wacky adventure together? Or what if this character was actually this character? And I'm not saying those episodes aren't fun, but now that the show's ended after 3 seasons without doing a ton of the big cool stuff, it's a little frustrating to see what they have, in a sense, not necessarily wasted their time on, but spent a lot of their time on. And we just keep seeing a lot of, like, OCs pushed out, and, you know, they're not necessarily bad characters. I kind of like Birdie, Kahori, solid. A lot of time spent on Captain Carter. It just feels like overall What If as a show is just misguided. It doesn't feel as cool as it could be, even if for the most part I found myself having a decent time watching it. And season 3 is just the big, you know, compounding point of that, where it's like, I'm not necessarily sure I care that much anymore, but, you know, I like it when they're doing weird, silly, wacky stuff with characters that I like. And I did like the Watcher's overall arc that concluded in the finale. I thought that was pretty cool. Jeffrey Wright has always been good in the show. So overall, fine season of television. Doesn't excel in any sense. I liked episode 4 than most people did. It's fine. I don't think it's bad. Just, you know, okay. I'm sad the show never lived up to its full potential. In some ways, I'm going to miss it. But in other ways, it's just like, okay, it's gone now. Oh well. So yeah, I'd give What If Season 3 a 7 out of 10. It's fine. You know, decent enough. If you like the first 2 seasons, you'll probably have a decent time with this one. If you dislike the first 2 seasons, this is not going to win you over. But yeah, I hope you guys liked the video. Coming soon are my views for Kraven the Hunter, Sonic 3, and my big year-end videos. So I hope to see you then. Bye for now.